you gotta start with a solid foundation. This is Rick's House, the home improvement show. Don't let do-it-yourself become do-it-to-yourself. This is Rick's House, the home improvement show.
Hey y'all, this is Rick Allen, and let me tell you about one of my favorite companies, Top Septic. If you need a new drain field, or maybe you're having a problem with your existing drain field, or maybe the septic tank just needs to be pumped, they are the folks that can handle it for you. They know what they're doing. They're an American-owned company run by a veteran who wants to give you the type of service that you're expecting. Top Septic. Call them today, 865-599-1690. 865-599-1690. Permachink Systems, protecting wood for a long, long time. Not only protecting it, but beautifying, helping it when it's decayed. Working with log home people and also working with homeowners. They have a store on Prosser Road in Knoxville at 1605 Prosser Road at 800-548-3554 or a store in Sevierville, 1357 Dolly Parton Parkway, 865-774-3307. 865-774-3307. Let me tell you what you're going to learn when you get there. Things I didn't know about. How about the Woodsman line of smooth log caulk? The other day I was looking for something that matched wood trim. I only had two choices. Not with Permachink. Pine, honey, tan, cedar tone, brown, and gray. E-wood, epoxy wood putty. Putty that really works. Putty that will harden and become just like the wood itself, maybe even better. If you're missing sections of your window sills or frames or furniture or any wood structure, this is the product for you. But maybe it's something smaller. How about epoxy wood paste? Contact PCS today. Call Permachink Systems today. Toll free 800-548-3554 or at the Sevierville store 865-774-3307 and find out how to make wood better. Hey y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show. Let me tell you about our newest sponsor, GFL. That's Green for Life. If you're looking for that dumpster or that roll-off or that piece of equipment that's going to get that debris away from your job site, or just keep things handy around and clean around that big business that you have, GFL wants to be your partner. They want to service you, and they want to take care of you. Locations in Knoxville and Morristown, and you can call them today at 865-475-7777. 865-475-7777. Dean Kings joins me today to tell us about a special offer for Rick's House listeners. Dean.
Yeah, Rick, if they mention that they've heard about us on your show or any kind of thing affiliated with your show, we're going to waive our delivery fee for any roll-off box.
And how much is that?
That's a $75 savings.
$75 savings right off the bat. So if you're looking for that dumpster or that open-top roll-off, GFL is the company that's got them for you. They want to take care of you, they want to service you, and they do a great job for us. GFL, call them today, 865-475-7777, and mention that you heard them on Rick's House.
Waking up between you and Mama every Saturday morning. Lord, it must be a big old bed. You're listening to Rick's House. Waking up between you and Mama every Saturday morning. Lord, it must be a big old bed. You're listening to Rick's House.
Oh, well, it's Rick's House. If you got a question, he'll help you figure it out. 'Cause it's Rick's House.
Oh, good Saturday morning to you. Hey, your mom and them. Ha! It's going to be a dandy. What's going on this morning? We got tons of stuff to talk about today. Tons of stuff. Oh, my mercy. Now that I've got it set up and
rocking and rolling and living and kicking and kicking and all kinds of stuff. Whatever you say about that. I'm ham and potato casserole cheese casserole fueled this morning. Amy said, "Did you put that up last night? What was left over?" I said, "Yeah, I put it up all right. I ate it." That's the joys of having the surgery that I've had, and I can't eat that much at one time, but what I can do is eat often. So about really about 8 ounces. I mean, it's 6. They say 6 when you first have your surgery done because that's all that your body can physically, with the swelling and everything from the stitches and all that stuff. That's all it can hold. But then after all that goes down, about 8 ounces, is what you can hold. And that stays pretty true, I think. I mean, it seems to be. Tony Johnson, what's going on? Hello, Renee. How are you doing this morning, Miss Tillery? It's good to see you all out there this morning. We got a lot of stuff happening. Thanks for joining us on the program. And thanks to Brother Tony for giving me some good guidance in the HVAC world, helping us get things corrected, and it's all good. So things are much, much better. We are much, much cooler, and we're good to go. We also have something that we're going to talk about on the program today is being aware of, the smallest thing can make the biggest difference. The smallest thing can make the biggest difference, and that's part of it. So we're going to share that with you this morning. We're going to talk about that. I got a lot of stuff. I got great show notes today. I'm telling you, I've been working on it. See, there you go. So we're going to talk about a bunch of that kind of stuff, and also just have a good time. It's a beautiful day here in beautiful West Texas. Well, really, where we're at's ugly. I ain't gonna lie to you. It has now. The campground's fabulous. I mean, where we're staying is beautiful. And I'll show you a picture of that in a while. But beautiful this morning. Everybody's sitting outside except for us. We're looking out the window, and the neighbors are outside, all having coffee this morning over the landscaped yard, and which is really nice. I'll have to say. And we have a big puppy kitty compound in the center of the campground, and so it's where the cats and the kitties play, and the puppies, and they all play there, and it makes for good a good time this morning. So good stuff. So we'll be sharing that with you today. Oh, thank you. Here, let me turn it around and hold that for you. Mama's refreshing my coffee this morning. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Heat wave. Y'all be careful out there in that mess. I'm telling you, it's I really realize it now that I've gotten older. When I was younger, of course, when you're younger, you don't pay much attention to a lot of things. But now that I've gotten older, I pay a lot more attention to the heat wave and that we have going on. And you have to. You got to stay hydrated. You got a bunch of stuff you got to do, and that's important. Like I said, it is an important part of keeping up with the little things. That's what I'm trying to spit out this morning. I had one of them mornings. We had a busy day yesterday. Just busy. Everything was busy, and I ended up not getting some stuff done. However, we're making a transition here in the Rick's House Media Center, aka Rick's House Radio Show on the road, in our little Gypsy Jane. Ain't that what we decided to call it? No, what'd you decide to call it? Our travel trailer. Gypsy Jane. Named after our kitty, Gypsy Jane, on the road. But it's one of the things that we found in traveling is trying to store stuff. And so I have found, for me, because I have a combination of, when you go on the road, y'all see me say, Rick wears the same blue shirt every Saturday morning. No, Rick don't wear the same blue shirt every Saturday morning. He just got a bunch of them because Mama caught them on sale at Amazon, and I'm kind of funny about my clothes. If it's comfortable, I wear it. If it ain't comfortable, I don't wear it. I've always been like that, except when I was a kid and Mom make me. Because, that's all you had. My mother, when you went shopping with Shirley for school, oh, Lord God. I love her and I miss her. God rest her soul. But I'm going to tell you something. If you was, for the longest time, I wore 33, 32 blue jeans. Levi's. 33, 32s. I can put that on one leg now. But anyway, I have lost a bunch of weight though, y'all. 33, 32s. So, you go in, you try on one pair of 33, 32s in whatever brand. Maybe you're getting Levi's. I always wore Levi's. I like Lee jeans too. Never did wear Wranglers much. I wasn't built for Wranglers. They didn't have the right cut for me. But anyway, long story short, when you went in shopping with Nana and my second mama, Jill, because her son would be with us a lot of times, who's is a dear friend of mine, Rodney. But when you went with Shirley and you needed, and you're going to get 4 pairs of 33, 32s, you didn't get just try on one pair and say, yeah, it's a 33, 32 in them Levi's. Oh, no. No. You got to try on every pair that you're going to purchase because one of them might be a little different. Oh, Lord God, I hate it. I want to go try on one thing, one shirt, one pair of jeans, and then after that, socks and drawers, we knew what them was. And then you buy them, and that's it. Put those on, Ricky. Put that other pair on. Come out here and let me see. So you have to huff your big hind end out there, and everybody in the store is looking at it. She's going, Jill, what do you think? Back then, you could take a draw off at Marlboro. But I miss her. That's the way she done it. Winston Light 100s. No, it was Merrick Light 100s and Winston Lights. Winston Light's what she smoked. I'll take a Coke, no ice, and 2 cups.
That's what she said.
That's the way Nana done it. Go through the drive-thru. I'll need a Coke, no ice, extra cup. That's right. So, good memories this morning. So anyway, we got lots to talk about today. It is, here in West Texas, it is, we are fighting them hundreds. But I will have to say that we've got a nice breeze this morning. It's really nice this morning. Few little things, and Tony will talk about this. I reached out to Tony Johnson, Heat and Air Man Deluxe, for assistance because one of the things he and I talked about, and we're going to talk about this on a future show. We're going to call that show "Staying in Your Lane." And he's the one to come up with that, staying in your swim lane. And there's a lot of truth to that because people ask me all the time, they say, Rick, how do you know how to do this or do that or do this? Listen, if it's something I don't know about and it requires technical things, I didn't try to solve the HVAC problem. I called the man that knows. I picked up the phone. I called Tony and I said, hey, brother. He said, hey, what's going on? I said, here's what my issue is. He said, let me think about that a minute. He said, all right, here's what I think. Bam, bam, bam. Well, he was right. Why? Because that's what he's done his whole life. He understands it, knows it. Why would I try to refigure something out that he already knows about? You see what I'm saying? So you got to be able to, and when we talk about doing home improvement, and we talk about doing home improvement on the road, and we talk about that. Now, we've got a couple that moved next to us here in the campground. And I had to go outside yesterday, or 2 or 3 days ago. I'm going to run my chair up a little bit. I had to go outside and man, he's got a nice rig. I mean, nice. It's a Salem Hemisphere, and it's got a big old dually truck pulling it, and it's brand spanking new. He's had it about a month. They sold everything going on the road. Super nice fella from Texas. Not far from, he grew up in Monahans, but he works for Halliburton over in the oil country. And his youngest son and his wife are with him. And then his next door is his oldest son and his wife in their camper, and just super nice folks. Well, anyway, we was out there talking. I went out there. He had the dog out. Petunia. They call her Tuna. She's got on what is that thing she's wearing, Amy? A pink? It's a pink nightshirt. Is that what you call it?
Well, that's what she sleeps in, evidently. But
Yeah.
during the day, she wears a pink tutu.
Pink tutu for Tuna, for Petunia. And she was out here this morning running around.
But she has pajamas.
Yeah. And that's her pajamas for a nightgown, I guess.
No, it's not. That's what she wears during the day, and she wears a nightgown, a sleep shirt.
Oh, she wears a sleep shirt at night. Petunia does?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So anyway. So I was out there talking to him, and he said, man, he said, we got grandkids in Denver, and he said, Mama said, when it's time to sell, I got to be mobile. She's needing some grandbaby love. And he said, okay. He said, so we sold everything, sold the house, sold everything we own. He said, we got this. He said, this is my first time. He said, I don't know nothing about it. He said, I'm lost as a ball in the high weeds. And I said, well, you must not be too lost because you started off. Hey, Carolyn. Good morning, girl. Good to see you in here with us this morning. Carolyn Burnett. Outstanding. Glad to have you with us this morning. Hope y'all are all doing well. Anyway, so he said, he said, I don't know a thing about it. And I said, well, you started off right because his travel trailer is nice. I mean, it's a fifth wheel. It's got insulated glass window is in it, square windows, not the round cornered ones like about 99% of them have. I mean, it's just a really nice unit. And so he's like, man, he said, I'm just glad that I got beside somebody that knows something about them. I said, well, we've been doing it a while, and I'm a contractor by trade, and that's my. And I talked a little bit about that. Hey, Melissa, good to see you this morning. Hope y'all doing good. Miss Jeter Jackson. Amy says, hey. So anyway, so we were talking about that, and he had some questions, and I was sharing some things with him that I share with y'all on the road. And it's not that I'm sure in whatever he does for Halliburton, I don't know nothing about it, so I'd have to lean on him. So that all ties back to talking about what Tony and I were talking about. Staying in your swim lane, and that's important. And sometimes as men, we tend not to do that, but that's what we call back home. It's a technical term. It's called dumb. Reach out. Let somebody tell you what they know. One of my favorite RV repair people that Amy and I have been watching is a young girl that I can't think of the name of the RV gal or something like that. I can't remember it right now. I need to write that down. It just came in my brain. Repair girl.
Yeah, the RV repair.
RV repair woman. That's what it is. Man, she just got out of RV school, and she's fabulous. That girl knows her business. I'm going to tell you something. So I watch and I learn from her. She went to school. She got it. She knows what she's doing. Hey, I'm going to learn something. So we got that going on. So, you got to reach out and, why learn everything, relearn everything when you can just learn from somebody. Don't reinvent the wheel. Learn from somebody that does. Amy, Melissa says, doing great. Hi, Amy. Tried to stay cool in this Texas heat. Boy, howdy. Woo. Well, we got it now. Reflectix. We talked about that on last week's program. Sorry. We talked about that on last week's show, and that's something that is a miracle worker for us here. One thing about Reflectix, you've got to get at least an inch. It doesn't matter really after an inch, but you need an inch of space between that and your glass to, that's bubbled, bubble wrap with aluminum foil on it, basically is what it boils down to. But man, that's the ticket. And we've actually put it out, instead of putting it in the window, in the insert itself, we're putting it on the outside of the frame and taping it down. That's made a huge difference for us. That's really helped. Cleaning the coils makes a huge difference. If you're not servicing your unit, matter of fact, the guy next door was telling me, I said, the guy's coming to service the coils. He said, well, his unit, I'll tell you how big this fifth wheel is. It's got 3 AC units, 3 18,000 BTU units. I said, are you staying cool? Oh, yeah, we're cool. I thought, hey, I bet you are in that rascal. I'm telling you. But like I said, he's super, super nice. Just no cowboy. So anyway, staying in your lane. We're going to be talking about that. So some of the things you're having to do in this, we hit, I don't know about y'all, Melissa, but we hit 108, which is probably hotter up there where they're at. That part of the world's hot. And you got that humidity. What was it? One of my producers, Skip, who I think the world of, his buddy called it humidity. And my papa said humidity. So there's a whole different bunch of words out there for it, but it'll stack up on you. So anyway, now one of the things I wanted to share with you is and like I said, finishing up about what we were talking about with Tony, I'm bouncing around all over the place because I'm about on that third cup of coffee and it's rolling. And when I drink a cup of coffee, I drink a cup of coffee. We ain't messing around. It's Texas size right here, Tennessee size, either one, whatever you want to call it. And I didn't know Ace Hardware, they're not a sponsor of this program, but they ought to be. Used to be. Don't paint yourself in a corner. And if you do, have your Dots home-style pretzels ready to go. Don't know nothing about them. See them in the stores down there. And we learned this week, Melissa Jeter Jackson, that it ain't Heb, it's H-E-B. And if you say Heb, they'll know you're not from here. So you have to call it H-E-B. Now, my buddy Mike over in Burleson, Texas, I talked to him last night, and he said, I was telling him that story. He said, that ain't what I call it. He said, I call it the butt store. I said, why you call it the butt store? He said, because the guy's name's Butts. I think that's what he said. I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't look it up. He said, well, you go down to the butt store? I said, I don't know what you're talking about. That sounds like a place I don't want to be. Yeah, the butt store. You know the butt store all over Texas and Oklahoma. I said, wait, I don't know nothing about no butt store. He said, yeah, Howard E. Butts, B, whatever it is. So anyway, my buddy David Croy, who brought us the Blind Mark, one of the first products that we ever talked about on there. Brother Brian Merritt, what's going on, Eagle brother? Good to see you on the program this morning. Thank you. Oh, y'all, Melissa says not reached 100 yet, but 95 with 70% humidity. See, that's the problem. Feels like 105. That's what you got. Now, we got, I think, humidity, I looked at last night, was 20. Between 20 and 28, but that ain't dew point. Dew point's lower than that, right, Amy?
That's what makes you feel.
That's what makes you feel. So I don't know about all this weather stuff, but now we did hit last week. We hit 108, and I'm not talking about feels like. I'm talking about a 108 real temperature. Them UV rays will just wear you out. Oh, Burleson's 10 minutes from them. Come see us and your buddy. We're gonna get that way soon. I don't know how long it's gonna be. We're gonna get that way.
Well, we hope to. We'll come see her.
We hope to. We'll come see you when we get out that way. Only if you make lasagna. You didn't think I remembered that, did you? A fat boy don't never forget a good meal. Mm-hmm. She puts onions in her lasagna. I like that. Best I remember. Lord have mercy. Ain't that funny how something comes back? We had some good times back in the day.
With that blue.
Amy said she put that blue makeup back on you like y'all did back in the day when we was kids.
When I did her makeup.
Oh, Lord. Yep. You make lasagna, everything will be all right. My buddy David Corey's coming on the show, not today. He's got a new book out called Ignite the Spark. There it is. David J. Croy. Now, David's a Texas boy. Lives in Michigan now, but he's a Texas boy. and I'm gonna read the foreword for this. This guy has knowledge. She said, absolutely, Tony loves my lasagna too. I knew he was a good fella. I knew the first time I talked to him. I knew he did.
It is delicious.
It's delicious. But Brother David, one of the first products the way I knew about him is back home in Knoxville. When I was on WNOX back in the day, he had a product called the Blind Mark, which is a product that he invented for cutting the outlets out in sheetrocks and stuff. And it was way before its time. There's a whole bunch of them out there now. He ended up selling that product to a company that ended up marketing it to. It's in all Lowe's stores, Home Depots. I mean, it went crazy. And since then, who's that? I don't know who that is. So anyway, since that happened, David holds 20 patents. So one of the things that he knows how to do is he was and I'm not going to tell much of his story because he's going to come on and he's going to be with us via the computer, and he's a great guy. I think the world of him. But I'll just read you the foreword. The name of this book is called Ignite the Spark. Too many great ideas never see the light of day. Do not let yourself be one of them. This book gives you a clear, actionable roadmap to transform your concept into a tangible product and gain invaluable knowledge along the way. Even if your first product does not succeed, the experience you gain will make your next idea easier to bring to life. You will have the confidence and the skills to help friends and family turn their visions into reality. If you want to turn your imagination into something real, this is your roadmap. By Global Publishing. Now, I've got about 10 of these, I think is what I've got. And when David comes on, we're going to give these away. I don't know what it sells for. Let's see. I don't know. We'll have to ask David when he comes on. This book right here is probably 50 years of knowledge from starting out in Texas, getting into this product, ended up, running a company. He very successful in what he does. This is invaluable information. Okay. And I'm going to give them away free. So stay tuned to the program, and we'll be talking about when Tony. I got Tony on my mind. I got Tony's all around me, Melissa. I got your Tony, and I got Brother Tony Johnson back home, HVAC man, and so forth and so on. Multi-mark, blind mark, all these different things. So, but we are going to mousetrap alert. And it just tells you, here's how you do it. Here's what you got to do. Here's how you get a pat. Invaluable, absolutely invaluable. Good morning, Miss Carolyn. I meant to call and check on you, make sure you're just doing okay, and seeing if your project if you decided to do it or not do it, or didn't know this morning. So good morning. Good to see you in here, Miss Carolyn, great friend of the program. Thank the world of her. And so glad to see you in this morning. So Ignite the Spark. So if you've got a product out there that everybody tells you, you ought to patent that. Amy's got a product that, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but she's got a product that she's going to read this book. And if she doesn't patent it, where I can retire, except I'll never retire from radios because that's what I love to do. Podcasting. I like podcasting even better than I like being on the stations, although there's some opportunities that may be coming to add to some other things as we travel. Travel may be in our future pretty soon, so we'll be talking about that. It's time for a road trip. May not be leaving home base, but we'll just be making a road trip. I get to itching. You know what I'm saying? I can't help it. I don't know if it's the gypsy blood. Is it the gypsy blood in us, Mama? We got to have a 3 or 4 day road trip. There's just so much to see. And there's so much interesting history. That's the thing. It's the history. There's just so much history. And I'm telling you, the more I see as we deal with health issues, had to go have a new CPAP sleep study, and that's a whole different process than it used to be. Good God Almighty! I took pictures of it. Now, I mean, I'm not going to share them, but that's a whole different thing. But the technology in increasing your sleep value just unbelievable, and the dangers of not. Cammy Mix, what in the world's going on out there? You got Tim. Is Tim making your breakfast this morning? I just want to know. You get that boy up, tell him get some biscuits popping. Tim and Cammy, dear friends of the program out in beautiful Oregon, one of my favorite states, by the way. If Oregon didn't get so cold, we'd spend more time in Oregon. Amy's she's not got to see like up where y'all live, Tim and Cammy. She's not got to see that. If you've not been to Oregon, I love Oregon. Oregon's one of them states like Texas. It's got everything. Did you know that Texas has all 10 eco structures in it? Did you know that? I learned that since I've been here. It has all 10 eco environments is the word I'm looking for. All 10 of them. Cammy, this is a book, and Tim's got a book out too that's a fantastic story. I need to revisit that and put that on there. Ignite the Spark. Dave Corey, we're going to be on the program. Dear friends of Rick's house. I'll have 10 of these or so to give away when he comes on in the next couple of weeks. And so if you've got an idea that you want to patent, this is step by step by step by step. This is invaluable. They ought to be $500 a piece. That's what kind of information's in this. But anyway, they're not. The only place you're going to get them is at Rick's house. Life on the Road with Rick's house. So we got that. All right, we're going to take a real quick timeout, and I'm playing with the commercials instead of playing multiple ones in a row. I'm just going to hit a couple, and then we'll be back. Just enough time to make sure that you're knowing about our sponsors. And something else I'm going to tell you. Cammy said, LOL, good morning. She ain't rousted the big fella out yet this morning. He might be up. He's tinkering on a plane somewhere or a Toyota. I'm so jealous of that Toyota. I'm just going to go ahead. I've coveted that Toyota Land Cruiser. That was my dream vehicle. Tony said, do some research on Inspire. I couldn't wear the CPAP and now have an Inspire implant. Call me this week and I'll tell you about it. Yeah, you told me you were going to get that. That's good to know. I'd like to know more about that as well. Yeah, I need to bring you up to speed on. We need to plan a time for Tony to come on and talk about HVAC. And Tim and Cammy Mix, you'll enjoy this. He is, even when we were kids, he had the coolest Volkswagen you ever seen. And that's his passion. And now that he's retired, he that's his deal. He's got a van and some other things. I'll let him tell his story, but he's got some phenomenal stuff. And Tim and Cammy in Oregon, you guys will love that. But yeah, Oregon, another state that we like. I can't do all that winter. I can take the heat, but I can't take that. So we're going to take I'm just going to hit a couple commercials here, and then we'll be right back, and we'll jump right back into the conversation. Did y'all see that pastor? I'm going to talk about it. Did y'all see that pastor in Louisiana? Did you? Tony. And he's a Tony too. Lord, I'm blessed with Tonys today. It must be Tony Day on the program. I got Tony Johnson making it happen, HVAC Man Deluxe, and I got Tony in Texas. And now we're going to talk about Tony the pastor. Fulfilling God's scriptures, what he said. Come on. We're going to talk about that. Just tickled me. I'm sorry, it just tickles me. If there's more of that and less of some of this other foolishness, we'd have less problems. I'm a Tennessee plowboy walking amongst a bunch of cowboys, and there ain't much difference between them except some rides horses and some drives tractors. That's what we got going on. You're listening to Rick's House. We'll be right back, y'all.
Whether you're living in a brand new home or swimming in a money pit, we've got your home improvement answers. It's Rick's House, the home improvement show.
Hey y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show on the road. And let me tell you about my friends at Knoxville Salvage and Old City Kitchens. Joel Popper and the team there have been friends of this program for a long time, and they want to be your friend. Friends, they have got the best cabinets, the best products. You say, Rick, is it seconds? No, everything's first quality. They do have some seconds if you want to get a deal, but not on kitchens and not on about everything they have in the store. So trust me, they're part of our team. They want to be part of your team. And in this environment where building materials are going through the roof, they're going to have the best prices on the best products in Knoxville or anywhere in the surrounding area. Call them today. See them online. KnoxvilleSalvage.com, OldCityKitchens.com. A Rick's House favorite.
Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show. Let me tell you about our newest sponsor, GFL. That's Green for Life. If you're looking for that dumpster or that roll-off or that piece of equipment that's going to get that debris away from your job site, or just keep things handy around and clean around that big business that you have, GFL wants to be your partner. They want to service you, and they want to take care of you. Locations in Knoxville and Morristown, and you can call them today at 865-475-7777, 865-475-7777. Dean Kings joins me today to tell us about a special offer for Rick's House listeners. Dean.
Yeah, Rick, if they mention that they've heard about us on your show or any kind of thing affiliated with your show, we're going to waive our delivery fee for any roll-off box.
And how much is that,
That's
brother?
a $75 savings.
$75 savings right off the bat. So if you're looking for that dumpster or that open top roll-off, GFL is the company that's got them for you. They want to take care of you, they want to service you, and they do a great job for us. GFL, call them today, 865-475-7777, and mention that you heard them on Rick's House.
Oh, well, it's Rick's House. If you got a question, he'll help you figure it out. 'Cause it's Rick's House.
Oh, good Saturday morning to you. How you mama now? Throwing hands. A little Tennessee, Texas, Louisiana justice was implemented. Said I fulfilled the scriptures. Yeah. Need a little more than that, don't we? Welcome back to Life on the Road with Rick's House. Appreciate y'all joining us on the program. I'm bouncing around. I got so much to talk about. I'm just bouncing around all over the place, like a rat on acid. Lord, turn the boy loose. Turn the boy loose. He's went crazy. He's liable to say anything on the air. Let me pull this up right quick. This is something that, and I remembered some other things I forgot to talk about. I just thought this was excellent. Pastor, I think his name's Tony Spell. Yeah. Let me just pull it up right here so I can tell it. Pastor Tony Spell says he fulfilled scripture in the beatdown of a man who threatened his family. Did y'all watch the video? KPLC 7 News, Pastor Tony Spell addressed the media. I watched that yesterday. And, basically this, yeah, he's a Louisiana pastor. And, he said something that I thought was, he said, when I got down on one knee in the gravel and I asked my wife's father for her hand in marriage, and he said that'd be okay. And then he said, but I'm going to tell you this. From the time she was born to the time I hand her to you, I have taken care of her. I have fed her. I have clothed her. I have loved her. I have taught her the scriptures. I have led her in our family. I have protected her, and now it's your job to be her helpmate to continue. And he said, I took that seriously. He said, when a shepherd oversees the flock, and I'm not getting religious on you. You got to do what you do. You know, I'm not going to debate faith and scripture and all those kinds of things, because that's a private choice, and I'm not here to be a preacher, and I'm not here to that's just not where I'm at. That's between you and God, and or whatever you believe in, But he said, when a shepherd is overlooking the flock and a wolf gets after the sheep, he said, you don't ask the sheep to defend themselves against the wolf. He said, that's the shepherd's job. He said, I'm the shepherd of my family. It's my job to protect them. And when somebody tells me they're going to kill my children and my wife and do horrible things to them when I leave, that has to be addressed. So he laid hands on him. Helped him understand that wasn't going to happen, because yeah. And he went to jail for it. That's okay. Sometimes that happens. Because he stood up for what he believed in. And it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. Especially in the world we live in today. But I just thought that was interesting. Louisiana pastor Tony Spelt arrested for alleged battery. I'm going to tell you something. He is the pastor of Life. Well, full summary. He is the leader of Life Tabernacle Church in central Louisiana, charged with second-degree battery for allegedly attacking a 20-year-old man who lives near the church. Bonded out of East Baton Rouge Parish Prison, and delivered a sermon on quoting a Bible verse about laying hands on the sick. And he said he fulfilled the scripture. He told reporters he felt obligated as the natural protector of his family to intervene when he felt they were threatened. I got nothing against it. That's just me. And that's the beauty of being able to podcast and not be stuck on radio only, is that you can share those kinds of things. And young people, I'm going to tell y'all something. He's very fortunate, this heathen, because old men, I had a lot more patience when I was, no, let me take that back.
About certain things.
My tolerance for foolishness like that is zero. No, it's not zero. It's about -5 billion. Just ask any other man my age. He got that young man's attention. And did you see the photograph of him? I guess he was at the hospital. He didn't think that he was stomping up and down on the street, and this has happened multiple times, and touching himself and inappropriately and doing things that are just. That's not an old man, but he's an older man.
Exposed himself to the preacher.
Yeah, exposed himself, and they had another one on there exposed herself, and he got his tail handed to him. Kind of reminds me of that time that batter run at Nolan Ryan on the mound. That's another good Texas boy. Nolan Ryan whooped his tail, sent him back, and then he bloodied Nolan's nose, and he pitched the rest of the game with his nose bleeding and struck him out. So it's just a different set of thinking. When you've been told that you can do whatever you want to your whole life, sometimes that don't work out too good for you. So I think it was clear about his opinion on the situation. I do. So I think that's good stuff on the program. Good stuff. All right, we're going to jump off that and jump back in here. One of the things that I was talking about that I wanted to share with you, traveling on the road, one of the things that we find that's an issue is, other than maintenance things, and the biggest issue that we've had is dealing with the black tank, and we talk about that a lot. And so this past week, it's so hot that black tank got full, and if it gets too full and it's hot, there's a vent on top of it, and every camper on the face of the earth that can leak a little bit. And so I had that happen. The reason I had that happen is because when my sewer hose comes out, I have it in a cradle that starts off tall and works its way small down to the drain at the campground, but it's 30 feet. So I've had to have 3 hoses. And when the West Texas wind blows 65 miles an hour, it blows that hose over and blows all that on the ground. So I'm out there picking it up, putting it back up, picking it up, putting it back up, picking it back up, putting it back up. But what happens is the hose doesn't drain properly. And because it doesn't drain properly, the black tank can build up a little bit. So the solution for that is that hose is so flexible in this heat. It's like a snake. It's just wavy as it can be, and it's hard to keep it. It's not going to stay where it flows good. Now, there's a couple things you got to think about when you're talking about dealing with that. One is that's a 3-inch pipe. If that pipe is coming at a steep rate, in other words, if the fall, I'm going to use my hand here if I can get out there. If the fall is like this, straight down, okay, what's going to happen is if you get too much fall or too much pitch or too much decline from your pipe here to your pipe here, let me do that. That's hard to do backwards. Then what happens is all the fluids run past and run out, and the solids can't get out. So those two things need to travel together. Your solids and your liquids need to travel together to completely evacuate your tank. And to do that, you want about 1/8 of an inch of fall per foot. Okay? That way, the tank gets properly evacuated. Well, that's hard to do when your hose is like a limp noodle, piece of spaghetti that's been cooked. The difference is a piece of spaghetti that you pull out before you boil it and a piece of spaghetti after you boil it. That's the difference. What we want is we want that hose to be stiff, like a piece of spaghetti noodle that's not been cooked. But what we have is a spaghetti noodle that's been cooked. So the quickest, easiest, and cheapest, most cost-effective solution to that I have found is to, God bless them, y'all want me to stop and take that? It's either, do I have Medicare Parts A and B? They started with Medicare Parts A and B, and then they went to Marketplace. Do you have Marketplace insurance? And then they went to, I'm missing out on senior benefits. And then I've been through all that and put them on the registry for phone calls, and now they're, are you paying too much for your car insurance? I tell them I live in the van down by the, I tell them, they asked me if I had a car. I said, no, I ride a bicycle. They said, you own a car, don't you? I said, no. I figured out that if I answer it, they're going to call me anyway. So if I don't answer it, it goes to my voicemail. And then I have to call voicemail. Then I have to listen to see if it's a real voicemail or if it's them. Then I have to delete it and so forth and so on. Because if you block it, they just roll to another number. So what I've ended up doing is I've decided that I'm going to answer the phone call, which keeps it from going to voicemail. And then my response to the thing, if I have time, my response to everything they're saying is no. 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 Must said better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Come on. That's right, girl. Tell it. So anyway, that's good stuff on the program. Now, if you're looking to go somewhere in East Tennessee, which everybody knows, people say, "Are you from Tennessee?" I say, "Yeah." Well, my cousin lives in Nashville. I said, "I'm sorry." No, I said, Nashville's nice. It's just different. I said, we're from up around. If you tell them Knoxville, they don't really know what that means. If you tell them, look here. If you tell them, we're from where the University of Tennessee is. Some of them know that. Especially the men, because they watch football, and you know that's a big deal. But if you tell them we live close to Dollywood, everybody knows where that is. Oh, Dolly, she tickles me. They said, "Well, why did you decide to open up your new Tennessee traveling stop?" She said, "Well, I couldn't leave it to the Beavers." You gotta love Dolly. So anyway, that's what I tell them. I don't know where I was going. I got sidetracked. But anyhow, I know you're shocked and appalled. Now, if you're heading, yeah, and we'll jump back on that. So let me finish. The solution to the problem is, I called Lowe's yesterday and had them order it, had them get it ready for pickup. I bought 2 10-foot sticks of 5-inch white vinyl gutter. And I slid one piece into it like another piece so I could adjust it. So I took a small section of my cradle, which holds the pipe, so I could make the turn coming out of the dump valve. And then I took that gutter and put it from there. I set it in the carriage, which holds it. And then I put it at where it goes into the 90-degree turn to go down into the drain field. Septic tank and drain field. Then I used some short wood blocks I had to carry it across the way and put the pipe down in there. Now it flows smoothly down into that, and then I put longer wood on top of it to keep it from flipping and keep the wind from holding it down. And that's worked great. That pipe's $9 a stick. So, you know, it's an inexpensive solution for that. And then I can put it all back together and scunch it back up and then make sure that it's taken care of. So we got that done. Now, if you're going to go to East Tennessee, especially up around Dollywood for a visit, the first thing you need to do is get online and go to www.cozymountainCabins.com. CozyMountainCabins.com, and Anita Foster will get on there and she will send you to a cabin that fits your needs, that is absolutely fantastic and phenomenal, clean, everything's in order, and you're going to have a great experience. You want one down on the creek or big body of water, she's got it. You want one over in the Arts and Crafts District, she's got it. You want one over in Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, she's got it. She manages I don't know how many properties. Great friends of this program and a dear friend in person that Amy and I thank the world of. Cozy Mountain Cabins, Anita Foster. Good morning, Anita. See you listening to us this morning. We're glad to see you. Hope you're doing well and feeling well. So be sure and do that. Now, Brother Jim Sharp has given us some words of wisdom this morning. Let's see what Brother Jim's saying here on the program. Good morning, my brother. And that was an example of the generation thinking there's no winners or losers in life. I think he knows and understands the difference now. Very well said, sir. Very well said, Brother Jim Sharp. Appreciate that this morning on the program. Now, one of the things that's also been an issue if you're traveling on the road is storage. And I told y'all earlier, everybody thinks, well, Rick wears the same blue shirt every week. No, he don't. As I said, Amy found them on Amazon, and I like them, and they fit me well, except for up around my neck. She gets on to me, pull your collar back, she said. Ain't nobody wants to see you with your shoulder hanging out. But anyway, so I have a bunch of those. So my wardrobe has deleted, and is pretty simple. I got my winter shorts and my summer shorts, which is the same shorts. And t-shirts and socks and drawers. And then you got to have a couple pairs of khakis and a couple dress shirts. And then your t-shirts and your golf shirts. And then, pullover sweaters, or not sweaters, but sweatshirts and hoodies and so forth for when it cools down. And basically that's it. So what we've done is we've utilized filing cabinets for me. So I have a whole bunch of radio stuff. If you could look in our living room right now, it looks like a bomb's went off in here. An absolute bomb has went off. I just noticed there's a sour cream and onion Clover Valley can of chips to my left, which are delicious, by the way. And even though I've lost 100 and close to 200 pounds, I still am allowed. I just don't get to eat many at a time, which is fine, but I still get the taste of them, and it's all good. But anyway, so one of the things that we do, excuse me, is I have those 2-drawer file cabinets, and I have one for clothes. So I have underwear and socks and all stuff in there, and then like my what's them socks I wear? I mean, what are they called? Compression socks that I wear in the wintertime to keep that done. And then I've had my shorts and everything in there. And then the other one I keep things that I need to keep inside. Tape, things that you have to have when you're on the road. Duct tape, HVAC tape, 2-sided tape, clear 2-sided tape, mounting tape, caulk, spray insulation, all those things, everything I have for repair that needs to stay inside and conditioned so that it doesn't get damaged. Okay. So that's important. Those are things that I have that I have to keep. Okay. So she was looking online on Marketplace. We love looking on Marketplace. Love that. She found a 2-drawer filing cabinet, one of those great big ones from the doctor's office was just getting rid of stuff. And so this is a brand spanking new, looks brand spanking new, but it's like 4 foot wide, so it's big. And it's the same height as my other ones, and I have a space for that. And so I can take all this stuff. Now, I'm going to tell you that the way she sold it to me, which she didn't have to, because if Mama said she wants it, then that's what's going to happen. But I have all this stuff. I got to see my stuff. I got to know where it's at, with all this radio stuff, because you have to have extra cords and you have to have, so I've got all this stuff that drives her crazy. Well, that being said, we do that. So now I have this big cabinet that I'm getting ready today. I've got to lift my desktop up and slide it in there and take everything that's under there that's just dust collecting and put it in the cabinet, and then that'll be completely nice and clean, and we actually utilize that surface so that and I'd turn around and show it to you, but it'll knock us off. And so we went and got that yesterday. So that's a repurposing of something, and it's metal and it's durable, and the drawers lock. So that when we're on the road, it's just a phenomenal way to make sure that you have storage inside the RV, and it holds a lot. So just a life on the road with Rick's House tip that we found and that we utilize, and it's clean and it looks nice and all that kind of stuff. So good stuff on the program. So we have that, and we utilize that here on the program in everyday life here out on the road, making sure we've got everything done that we need to get done. So we talked about the gutter support for the sewer. We did that. And we talked about now. Have y'all seen this? Amy found this yesterday, and you know, especially being out here, you know, we see people, a lot of folks, you know, especially when we're in Oregon, that have those blow up hot tubs and bathtubs and stuff like that. We see a lot of people that carry those. You see people that carry, you know, little swimming pools, blow up swimming pools, you know, to cool off in the heat and stuff like that. A lot of times, you know, it depends on where you are. I mean, a lot of campgrounds have those types of amenities, but some of them do not have those kind of amenities. So, Coleman has come out with I don't even know how to say this. Coleman has come out with a lazy river that you can put in your backyard. Almost like these pools, like these Intex pools and all these different kinds of pools that we buy for our kids or grandkids now that you throw up in the backyard. They've come up with a doggone lazy river. It is the coolest thing. Look that up. Coleman Lazy River. That's going to be the new. Other companies make them, but Amy found the Coleman. You saw the Coleman one, and what a great idea! Can you imagine how cool that is for the kids or grandkids?
For us adults.
For us adults.
Rest in the tube and just let it push us around.
Yeah, you just, I mean, you set it up, you know, zigzag it, and you just, you know, you just get it on the tube. And can you warm my coffee up, or do we have any? So, Lazy River, Backyard Lazy Rivers, the one that we saw is made by Coleman. Did you happen to see how much it was?
I did, but I don't remember.
She did, but she doesn't remember.
Write it down, so.
Oh, that's good coffee. So, Coleman Lazy River, what a great job that does. That's a really neat thing. So, we talked about that. We're going to take a short time out to hear from some other folks. And now that I've seen them chips, I got to have 3 or 4 of them because I got to have 3 or 4 of them because I hadn't had anything to eat this morning to take my medicine. And then I'm going to tell you about a product that I found. If you suffer from neuropathy, this was told to me by someone I talked to this past week about window inserts. We've talked about that. We're going to have them on the show. My new friend Martin from Indow, INDOW, window inserts. You've got that historic house. Maybe you're in Knoxville. Maybe you're somewhere in Texas. Maybe you're in Oregon. Maybe you're in Washington State. Maybe you're in Michigan, wherever you're at. Indow window inserts, we're going to have them on the program coming up too, as we're beginning to schedule folks and get all that happening. As I was talking to him, he has neuropathy like I do. He's a little bit older than I am. And another product that we found that helps me with that. I am not a doctor. I am not making medical advice. This is an over-the-counter product, but I've started taking it, and it is really helping me with pain. So I'm going to share that with you when we come back. And also, Amy found this. I can't take credit for this. What do you do with spices? You know, spices are a huge deal when we're talking about being on the road. This is the simplest idea, and I just couldn't. We have them all stacked up behind our oven and cooktop.
You got me a spice rack.
And I've got a spice rack on the wall for Amy but I have to take it down when we're traveling. And then she has a bungee cord system for holding the rest of stuff in place on her kitchen countertop that would hold would keep the toughest prisoners in the toughest prisons in the country bound. But we're going to talk about, but a really cool idea that she found that's inexpensive that we're going to share with you on Rick's House today. Life on the Road with Rick's House. Let's hear from some of the people that make that happen. You're listening to Rick's House. Hang on, youngins. I'll be right back. Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show on the road. Let me tell you about my friends at Knoxville Salvage and Old City Kitchen. Joe Bobber and the team there have been friends of this program for a long time, and they want to be your friends. Friends, they have got the best cabinets, the best products. You say, Rick, is it seconds? No, everything's first quality. They do have some seconds if you want to get a deal, but not on kitchens and not everything they have in the store. So trust me, they're part of our team. They want to be part of your team. And in this environment where building materials are going through the roof, they're going to have the best prices on the
best products in Knoxville or anywhere in the surrounding area. Call them today. See them online. KnoxvilleSalvage.com, OldCityKitchens.com. A Rick's House favorite. Got a question? Rick's got the answers for all your home improvement questions. It's Rick's House. Home improvement advice done right.
Tune in to Rick's House every Saturday from 7:30 a.m. to 9:30. Don't let do-it-yourself become do-it-to-yourself.
Hey, y'all, this is Rick Allen, host of Rick's House Home Improvement Radio Show. Let me tell you about our newest sponsor, GFL. That's Green for Life. If you're looking for that dumpster or that roll-off or that piece of equipment that's going to get that debris away from your job site, or just keep things handy around and clean around that big business that you have, GFL wants to be your partner. They want to service you, and they want to take care of you. Locations in Knoxville and Morristown, and you can call them today at 865-475-7777, 865-475-7777. Dean Kings joins me today to tell us about a special offer for Rick's House listeners. Dean.
Yeah, Rick, if they mention that they've heard about us on your show or any kind of thing affiliated with your show, we're going to waive our delivery fee for any roll-off box.
And how much is that,
That's
brother?
a $75 savings.
$75 savings right off the bat. So if you're looking for that dumpster or that open top roll-off, GFL is the company that's got them for you. They want to take care of you, they want to service you, and they do a great job for us. GFL, call them today, 865-475-7777, and mention that you heard them on Rick's House. Permachink Systems, protecting wood for a long, long time. Not only protecting it, but beautifying it, helping it when it's decayed, working with log home people, and also working with homeowners. They have a store on Prosser Road in Knoxville at 1605 Prosser Road. That's 800-548-3554. Or a store in Sevierville, 1357 Dolly Parton Parkway, 865-774-3307. 865-774-3307. Let me tell you what you're going to learn when you get there. Things I didn't know about. How about the Woodsman line of smooth log caulk? The other day I was looking for something that matched wood trim. I only had two choices, not with Permachink: pine, honey, tan, cedar tone, brown, and gray. E-wood, epoxy wood putty that really works. Putty that will harden and become just like the wood itself, maybe even better. If you're missing sections of your windowsills or frames or furniture or any wood structure, this is the product for you. But maybe it's something smaller. How about epoxy wood paste? Contact PCS today. Call Permachink Systems today. Toll free 800-548-3554 or at the Sevierville store 865-774-3307 and find out how to make wood better.
Oh, well, it's Rick's House. If you got a question, he'll help you figure it out. 'Cause it's Rick's House.
Hey y'all, this is Kix Brooks, and you are listening to Rick's House. Everything you need to know about home improvement. Here comes Rick.
Good Saturday morning to you. Welcome into Rick's House. Thanks for joining us on the program. Live on the road with Rick's House, coming to you from beautiful West Texas. How you mama and them? It's going to be a dandy. Appreciate you joining us on the program this morning. Thanks for listening and tuning in. We're talking about lots of stuff. This is a great idea, and it's something that Amy found, and I just think it's a phenomenal idea. Putting your spices, we've got a spice rack on the wall. We've got a drawer with spices in it. We cook a lot. And one of the things Brother Bob had asked me about is we do a lot of cast iron cooking. And we've been putting some things up on Facebook that we've been doing. We're exclusively cast iron now. Really. I mean, we've got some other pots but we don't use. We've got some pots in storage that I wish we. Yeah, Amy's cooking pasta in cast iron. Boils potatoes. I mean, cast iron is the deal. our great grandparents and grandparents, and they know these things, and so that's part of what we do. One of the issues has been finding a place for spices, but the other issue with spices is that, you know, we've got our spices on the wall and our spices that we refill the jars that we have for the regular spices in. Then you got those spices behind the stove in the cooktop in the RV or the travel trailer. And so what happens with that is you're constantly having to when you're moving, you know, you got to take them down, put them down. You know, there's things that you've got to do to make that happen. And like I said, Amy's got a bungee cord system that would keep the meanest prisoner in the country bound up inside of the, of a chicken coop if she could put some bungee cords on it in about 5 minutes. Because learning to travel is an art, and everybody's art is different. We learn from others, they learn from us. That's the deal. I mean, everybody has great ideas, but some of those ideas may work for you, but they may not. But this guy or gal, I don't know who it was, but it was a guy. He took a balance rod. Now, ladies, y'all know what a balance rod. You're going to have to explain this one to your husband, because all he knows is that if you've not already done it yourself, or if you've got tired of him not putting it up, then you've done it yourself. But if he is actually going to put it up for you, all he knows is that's a rod, a curtain rod, and all he wants to know is, where do you want it? He don't know what kind of curtain rod it is. He don't know what it's used for. He don't know anything about it, most likely. All he knows is, where do you want it? And if he does like I do, I say, put me a dot where one of them goes and where the other one goes, and I'll take her from there. Now, many times she's already done it herself, but I'll do it. You know, that's one of the things I can still do. So I'll do that. So, you know, the balance rod is just a little rod that comes out and curves and comes in. It's a balance rod. And they come in multiple colors and multiple styles. This guy took a balance rod behind the stovetop, and just mounted it to the wall. And now the spices just go down behind it. And you don't have to bungee it. And it travels. You don't have to bungee cord anything. You don't have to move anything. You don't have to do anything. I mean, it's fantastic. It just travels. That will happen here as soon as she picks out the one that she wants. And I will install it. So, you know, that's a good thing. The other thing I wanted to show you, I have had so many questions about, and many of these questions were questions that I brought on myself, because it's just one of those things that, you know, I have searched and searched and searched. And people ask this. I see this asked online all the time too, but people just ask and ask and ask. And one of the things they ask about is, how do you mount things on your RV, travel trailer / and they're all RVs to me. And I know we've talked about this. Everything's an RV to me, because, let me see if I can get this. Hang on, youngins. There we go. This is the finest piece of equipment that I own. You would have to fight me for this. Hear me? When you get that itch on your back that you can't reach, it's right here, take the hide off what I'm talking about. I mean, get relief. This was given to me by a list. This is no lie. It used to have 2 wooden balls in here that you run up down your back. I didn't have no use for that, so they finally fell out, and I just did away with it, because that's a good hook. But this was given, and I lose everything. I lost my glasses this morning, and literally by the good Lord Jesus, I found them with Amy's help, looking for them, because Amy finds everything for me. But I found these because she handed me a pair of hers, and I said, I can't. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I can buy my reading glasses for $1, I don't care what color they are. But these that she handed me this morning, that I was going to have to wear without it. Let me just have them, Mom. You've lost them.
Oh.
This was what I was down to, and I said,
Nothing wrong with them.
they're good glasses. Ooh, doggies. Your eyes are a lot worse than mine. Yeah, I can't even see if that kind of looks good on me, don't it?
Yes, it matches your shirt.
Go Eagles. But I can't see nothing when I put them on. So anyway, but this back scratcher was given to me by a listener. Now this is no lie. Who came to the radio station? He said, "I've got something for you." Now these are $1. Back in the day, they was $1. They're probably $3 or $4 now. I don't know. So I was talking about something, and anyway, he said, "No, I want to bring it down there." I said, "Well, come on." Then I sent the producer down there to make sure he wasn't coming to kill us. Which, back then, see that? That's a utility device. Did you see that? Oh, I couldn't reach it, so I went over, made a move like I used to do in my Tonka trunk set, that crane set, Tonka truck set, pulled it right over. So that's a back scratcher slash utility device. He gave this to me in 2000. This is 26 years old. And it scratches good. I've scratched so much I've got it sharp on the end. You hear me? Yeah, you need one. 26 years old. So anyway. So hanging stuff on the wall in the travel trailer is an issue that we have to deal with. And, you know, there are fasteners. And the problem is that the paneling on the wall is thin. So a lot of conventional fasteners won't work when you go to put something on the wall. They won't work. And so what we end up doing is I've been looking and trying to find. So sometimes we use command strips and sometimes we use other things. And, you know, they're great, but Godzilla, they're expensive. That stuff is expensive. And, you know, when you live on, a budget like we do and the rest of the people in the world, our age, it's important that you optimize what you're using. So I have went through everything, and then by accident, I came to this. These are 7/8 inch drywall screws. Okay. Can y'all see that? That's a 7/8 inch drywall screw. Okay. Now you say, well, Rick, why a 7/8 inch? Because I'm going to tell you there's a reason for it. The 7/8 inch drywall screw has threads all the way up to the top, just short of the top. Okay. This is a coarse drywall screw. It has a very aggressive tread. Okay. So it has a very aggressive profile, I should say. I've mounted everything with these things. Now, we're not going to mount something that's super heavy, okay? I've mounted, like she wanted over next to the spice rack, I didn't, and sometimes you need a longer one. The problem with the longer ones is many times they have a space between the last thread and the top of the screw that can be like this. And that can be a problem sometimes. But these are great for small, lightweight things. And I utilize them all the time. Great thing to have a box of. They're cheap. They're inexpensive. You go to your local hardware store and get them in the box, or you can buy them in, by the pound or half pound or quarter pound or whatever. Great opportunity there for utilization. And they hold. Even in the plywood, they hold pretty good. Now, obviously, don't put some big heavy something on there and then tell me, Rick, that don't hold. You lied. No, it won't hold. I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, it won't hold. So just be aware of that. That's a great thing. So when I mount that balance rod to hold her spices, I'll take them two little chicken, I call them, screws they give you with no thread or nothing on, because they ain't going to hold anyway. And I'm not going to put that plastic insert in there for an anchor, because it's not going to hold. It's designed to hold in something thicker. I'm going to mount it with these right here, and it's going to hold beautifully. Beautifully. As the Donald would say, it's going to hold beautifully. So anyway, so that's another tip for you here on Rick's House this morning, traveling in the across the road, making it happen. We talked a little about Reflectix. Okay, we talked about gutter support for the sewer. I've talked about that. One of the other things that and we talked about the balance rod spice rack. That's good. Having tape that holds. We have tried lots of different tapes because there are many things like the Reflectix. If you put it in there and you leave the sides open, then the heat just bounces off of it and goes out the edge, and you'll burn up. So having a good tape that holds. One of the issues is that we found is we have, and I would show it to you. We have tape. You have skylights. You got to tape those off. And you got to make sure you got to do that on the bottom, because if you tape them to, and I've learned this from experiences, which I knew better, I was just in a hurry. You tape it right up against that plastic lid on the top, it's going to melt. Okay, so what you're doing is you're putting this Reflectix, which is the bubble wrap that's got foil on both sides. You're putting that over your window panes. You're putting it over your window things. You're putting it over that, and that's what you're utilizing to keep heat out. Because what makes it hot here is the UV rays. Okay, but there's trees across from us, but there are no trees around us. There's no sense for shade, and I like to have shade, but the other problem with that is if you have natural shade, then with winds gusts like we have in this part of the world, I'm concerned about tree coming over and tearing the RV or the travel trailer all to pieces. So you have that as well. So that can always be an issue too. So the Reflectix works great. Regular tape that we utilize. Oh, shoot. Sorry. This is Gorilla Tape. I'm a fan of two tapes. Gorilla Tape is probably my favorite. Because like the commercial said, it's tested by real Gorilla. Anyway, Gorilla Tape's one of my favorites because it actually works. And it's pretty cost effective. Huge difference in cost between Amazon and Lowe's and Walmart, and you got to shop this stuff. They can be a huge difference. Like I bought this off Amazon, it was $2 less a roll than it was at the big box stores. Okay, but sometimes, and I'm going to show you another tape that's like that. Gorilla Tape. This is crystal clear, ultra transparent tape. Okay, and then they also have a mounting tape. This works good on everything in the RV except for the ceiling. It will not stick to the ceiling. I don't know why. Now they got a tape that'll stick to the ceiling. It's a permanent tape and it's waterproof, and you could patch the space shuttle with it. I'm telling you, it's expensive. But if you put that on, it'll tear the board out before it comes out of there. I mean, it's that sticky. Okay, so that doesn't work. So on the ceiling, what we have to utilize is another type of tape. Hold on. Which is, this is Reflectix tape for that bubble wrap, okay? It's a metal tape. It comes with here, let me just pop it open. And what I do is it's got a paper backing on it that you have to peel off. This is what you use on HVAC and Reflectix, okay? So what I do is I always, when you get done, so I don't have to pick that off every time, I just turn one corner down, and then I can put it back on the roll and push that down, fold it back, push that down, fold it back, smooth it over, and it holds it in there. This stuff sticks really well, okay? Sticks really, really well. Tony's not with us right now, Tony Johnson, but one of the things that I realized, we were so hot in the RV, and I had bought an insulated 6-inch pipe, because most portable air conditioners, these are the air conditioners that roll around inside, and I utilize those. Now, people will tell you they're not as efficient. They are not. They're not as efficient as a window unit, but I don't like a big window unit sticking out the side of my RV. I think it just looks like country come to town. Don't like it. So unless I have to do it, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to put another unit on the ceiling because that's really super expensive, and I can't get up there to clean the coil, so I have to pay somebody else to do that. And that's $200 for the first one, $50 for each one after that. So I don't want to do that. I want something that I can work on or maintain, or Amy can do, or somebody can do that. So we use these portable air conditioners, and you need to check your EER rating for energy efficiency when you purchase one of those, and they need to be, if it's down about a 6, the closer it gets to 16, the more efficient it is. So we want 11, 12, 13, 14 for it to be efficient. The other problem is it has they're either 5 1/8 up to 6 inches hoses that go on the back of it. Well, that's a plastic hose, and it ain't worth 2 darns. And it gets brittle, and it breaks, and it cracks. And when you're trying to store it and haul it, it's a pain in the katushka. So, and we don't have ours running out the windows. We put them running out the floor and put a vent on there in the slide so it's there. That being said, it brings air in, runs it across the coils, which cools it, blows the cold air back into the travel trailer, and pushes the hot air back out the back. Now, I bought an insulated pipe, and what I mean by that is that it's a flexible duct pipe, but that pipe has reflectix on it, just a thin piece. But when it's 108 outside, that pipe is as hot. You can fry an egg on it. Okay, even with that little bit of insulation on it. Amy brought that to my attention. She said, "Ricky, this pipe is hot." I said, "I know it's insulated." She said, "Well, it ain't insulated very well because it's hot." And she was right. Now, that being said, if it gets all that heat that's going on around it, it's getting sucked right back into the air conditioner and causing the air in the room to heat up, and it's not working very well. It's not working efficiently. It's a problem. And so I looked online, and they make insulated sleeves that you can put on them, but they're pretty expensive. Well, you got to order it, and it's 2-day Amazon delivery, and yada, 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 and no big box stores have them or anything like that. And I'm like, no, that's not going to work for us. That's not going to work for us. So it dawned on me that in your big box stores, you have 6-inch and 8-inch metal ducting for HVAC. So I went to the HVAC store, and I bought a 5-foot sleeve of 8-inch, not 6-inch, but 8-inch, because 6-inch is too hard to pull over the hose, duct insulation for half the price of what the sleeve cost. And then I slid that over, and then I used the Reflectix HVAC tape to tape it on there. Now you can put your hand on that because it's got pink fiberglass insulation in it, and then because it is bigger inside than the pipe that it's covering, it has an airspace in there which lets it insulate even better. Because if you take pink insulation, fiberglass insulation, and you compress it, you're losing insulated value. It's the air that gets inside of the fiberglass that creates the insulation barrier. And this is a whole lot better insulation than putting one of those sleeves on there. I put that on there and taped it down. It dropped the temperature in our RV 10 degrees, Amy?
Oh, yeah.
At least. It dropped that pipe temperature from probably 120 degrees to 50, maybe. It's been one of the differences, probably the major difference between us being able to stay cool in our RV as we look outside at the campground where we are and enjoy a little outside view and feeling like we were in the Yellow Submarine here in the Rick's House bunker of Gypsy Jane. So all that being said, that is an important part of what we do And it's something that I wanted to share with you on the program. Chuck Parker, if you don't go on the road live as a comedian, you have missed your calling. Or start a podcast or something. You're hilarious, brother. I look forward to looking at your posts every morning. Amy does too. Hey, hilarious. And words of country wisdom. I'm telling you, you make millions. Don't forget me when you do. So we've got that going on too as well. So just some great tips here on the program this morning. Thank you so much for joining us and dealing with that. Also, people have lost their mind. Did y'all see where that Arby's manager spit in the roast beef while they were slicing it and gave the person herpes? Now, I don't know what level of herpes that was. It don't matter what level of herpes is. It's herpes, whether it's a fever blister herpes or whether it's bumpy blister herpes. It don't matter what kind of herpes it is. It's herpes. What? Negative, Ghost Rider. Be careful where you eat out, youngins. I'm going to tell you. Okay? Mom and I have narrowed it to some, if we don't know it, we'll eat it. Chick-fil-A. She will. I don't. It's not my cup of tea. But anyway, it's delicious. It's just not my cup of tea. She'll eat Chick-fil-A. And then one of our favorite Mexican restaurants. That's it. I ain't getting no negative, because there's people out there that'll do stuff like that and think it's funny. Good gosh almighty, Brother Eagle, Brother Lee McNair on the program this morning. What's going on? Good to see you out, man. Hope you and your family are doing outstanding. I don't know what part of the world you live in now, but great to see you on the program this morning, Brother Lee. Appreciate that. Also, when we talk about the heat in the travel trailer and getting that heat dealt with, one of the things that, and this is in your home too, you know, it's absolutely positively in your home as well. You got to make sure that you're getting a look at the doors. Now, the doors in our travel trailer ain't worth a squat. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. Now, we've been adding weather stripping, and I've got some more I've got to add today to continue to combat that. And I'm probably, Amy and I are kicking it around, but we have, so in the travel trailer, we have single glass windows, which is a step above plastic. Then we have the Reflectix in there, which is to the walls, which gives us an airspace in there, and it's taped to the walls. And we've got it cut where we can peel it back, and and a couple windows that we look out of, so when we want to see outside. And then after that, we have insulated curtains, which do a phenomenal. They're blackout curtains for one. So if you're in a Walmart parking lot or Cracker Barrel, wherever you're at, that's going to make a huge difference, make things a whole lot better. And then if you're not in that and you're you know, and it's 108, then you can close those insulated curtains. Makes a huge difference. Okay. So we've got that, but the door, you can just put your hand on it and you can just feel the heat coming through it. So that's the next attack. Probably going to put some Reflectix on that just to reflect it back out and not let it come room side. Going to talk to Mama about that today. So we're going to talk about that. That's going to be a project for today. So that's something we got going on. All right, coming up in the next few weeks, look for Dave Corey, Ignite the Spark. We're going to have some books to give away, okay? We're excited about that. You can reach me during the week. And one of the things I want to talk about is our sponsors. Without our sponsors, GFL, Knox Rail Salvage, Permachink, Top Septic, you know, Cozy Mountain Cabins, Nita Foster, Cozy Mountain Cabins, and some of the others you hear me talk about periodically. Without them, we're not able to do this. And if you're listening to me and you're back home in East Tennessee, then you can support those companies there. But those companies are also, there's some of those companies are national, like our Permachink brothers and sisters and GFL. So look for them through distribution or through a separate company. But if you utilize that company and you're in Oregon, be sure and tell them that you heard about it on my program. That helps us. And we want to help you, but we also want to help them. So I appreciate that. If there's somebody you need for me to know about that maybe we should partner with, we don't know until we talk to them and find out about them. The best recommendation we get is from you. Send me an email. Rick's House, RicksHouseradio, rickshouseradio@gmail.com. For those of you all that watch me on YouTube, we don't have a bunch of subscribers on YouTube. I do that because, and I don't push YouTube, but I do YouTube because it's important, because I have some people that don't have social media and they just have it clicked in there and they just click on it and come to us. So that's why we utilize that. Thank you all, everybody that's following us on Instagram, Facebook, especially Instagram, and TikTok, whatever it's called, and what else are we on? X. Our posts are seeing great amounts of followers. We appreciate that. Oh, swatting flies, are you?
No, why?
They're coming off me and moving to you. So thank y'all for that. God bless you. Reach out to me during the week. And if there's something you want to know about, email me. You know, I love to get emails saying, hey, Rick, who do you recommend for this? Hey, Rick, what do you think about that? Hey, Rick, we're thinking about this. Hey, Rick, have you seen this product? And we'll do the diligence. We'll go and we'll find out and we'll do that. We appreciate you joining us each and every Saturday morning. Thank you so much. Today's project on Life on the Road with Rick's House is putting the new cabinet, and I'll be able to show y'all that next week. But it's going to require some sweat, blood, and tears. And there is a tortilla of some kind in my future for breakfast this morning with some kind of meat and eggs and cheese and deliciousness, probably. We'll see about that. God bless you. Hey, 4th of July coming up next week, right, Mom? Fireworks safety will be the time. Put the alcoholic beverage down. Step away from the firecracker. Or learn the hard way. So we appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. God bless you. We love you. Without you, we don't get to do this. Stay tuned. We got stuff happening. We're getting excited. Live from West Texas, it's been Rick's House. Life on the Road with Rick's House. We appreciate you. See you next time.